Hi everyone, Evie here, the Greek goddess of great reading. Today I'll be reviewing My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Wanga. I don't know. It's a cool last name. Wish I knew how to pronounce it. 16-year-old physics nerd Aysel is obsessed with plotting her own death. With a mother who can barely look at her without wincing, classmates who whisper behind her back, and a father whose violent crime rocked her small town, Aysel is ready to turn her potential energy into nothingness. There's only one problem. She's not sure she has the courage to do it alone. But when she discovers a website with a section called Suicide Partners, Aysel's convinced she's found her solution. A teen boy with the username Frozen Robot, aka Roman, who's haunted by a family tragedy, is looking for a partner. Even though Aysel and Roman have nothing in common, they slowly start to fill in each other's broken lives. But as their suicide pact becomes more concrete, Aysel begins to question whether she really wants to go through with it. Unfortunately, she must choose between wanting to die or trying to convince Roman to live so long that they can discover the potential of their energy together. Hey guys, so in a different location again. I've been traveling over a lot, visiting my family before. I'm about to embark on my own journey tomorrow. I'm leaving in the evening to go on a flight to Vietnam, and I am doing a placement there in a hospital doing physiotherapy with people affected by Agent Orange, which is the chemical warfare that the United States used during the Vietnam War. That's pretty exciting. But I have two reviews that I'm actually going to be doing today, so if you see my next video, I'm going to be in the same outfit in the same spot. If you're wondering why, that's why. The premise is essentially that this girl, Aysel, starts to fall in love with this boy that she's made a suicide pact with, and in turn makes her want to live. I don't really know if I like the way, maybe I'm just the one who read it this way, but it seemed like the only reason that Aysel wanted to live after was because of Roman, because she started to like him, which leads me to believe that you just want to live because of a boy, not because of your family. Even though she thinks her family are being mean to her and don't understand her. I have some feministic ideals. I am a woman. I think it's kind of misguided to write a story where this person who doesn't want to live only wants to live now that there's a guy in her life. I get that maybe Aysel can see that other people did care about her, and that does happen with people who are depressed and contemplating suicide. They generally don't think anyone cares about them, but for her to have her eyes opened by simply the fact that she was falling in love with this other boy, that part I didn't really like too much of the novel. Maybe if you guys read this book, you'll read it differently. You won't really see it that way, because otherwise it is a beautiful story in terms of that she wants to live again, so she wants to try and help this guy who she's falling in love with to also want to live again and be a part of her life. I had a constant nagging thing in my head whenever I was reading this book, because when you first read Aysel's name, you think it's pronounced Aysel because it's spelled Aysel. But throughout the book, you hear her kind of saying to other people, no, it's not Aysel, it's Aysel, like gazelle. And for a while it took me some time to actually read that name, Aysel, instead of Aysel, and it was really frustrating because I knew how her name is supposed to be pronounced, but in my head I couldn't read it that way for a while. My cat's just going to join, if you can see him, or maybe just his tail, the review here, as well as our lovely neighbor who seems to be lawn mowing at this exact time. But I couldn't put off doing this review any longer. I've already been sidetracked enough today. Despite the fact that I don't like how Miss Wanga kind of seemed to portray that Aysel only wanted to live again when she had another guy in her life, I do think it is a charming story, a sad one, albeit charming, because I wanted to know what was happening next. I didn't want to put it down. So in that sense, it was a very good read. But reflecting upon reading it, I do see that aspect of it that I'm starting not to like too much. Maybe not my most favorite book so far of 2015, but if you guys like the plot, I do urge you to give it a read. As for me, I'm starting to think that maybe it wasn't as great as I thought it was. This was my review from My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Wanga. If you're interested, pick it up at a bookstore near you. I want to get more interactive on my channel, guys, so if you have any book suggestions for me, they would be greatly appreciated. I'm not that restricted in what I read. I tend to read a lot of young adult, but that's a pretty broad category, so it could be anything, even classic lit. I've read biographies, I've read very old books, I've read science fiction, even though I said I do not like science fiction to myself millions of times. But any suggestions you guys have, and if you guys have read this book and you disagree with me on anything, or you agree, or you like the book, write down in the comments what you think and we can start a conversation, because I love to have conversations with people about books I've read. And considering a lot of my family and friends don't read the same types of books that I do or don't read at all, it'd be nice to have some sort of dialogue with other like-minded people who are reading the same books as me. So comment. Yes, do it. Also guys, if you like what I'm doing here, please hit subscribe, so that way, I don't know. Also, I'm starting to post links to my Twitter and my website down in the bios. So if you want to hit up those sites and follow me or check out my webpage, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm Evie, the Greek goddess of great reading, and until next time guys, keep reading.